Instagram UTV124, Twitch UTV124, TikTok UTV_124, and Flow TV channel 124. Remember, UTV, TV for you.
I can't
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. It is Thursday, July 15th. Thank you very much for joining us. This is Mornings with Tresha Lionel, and we are, as always, streaming on the different social media platforms where we encourage you all to join us because we are looking at your comments. We're looking for, your reactions to all of the topics that we have there. So if you're on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitch, on TikTok, thank you very much for being with us on this Thursday morning, and we hope so far you're having a good one. Also, if you're watching us on television, on channel 124, that is Flow, UTV Underground Television, thank you very much as well. And for those of you listening to us on our radio partner station, Hits FM 92.1 and 91.1 FM, we appreciate that as well. And because some people have been asking for it, I know that we went on the ground on Tuesday, went to Ancillary, and I'm telling you, I had a great time meeting new and very, very interesting people. And you know what, why not continue in that same way and go to different parts of the country? And we will be doing so tomorrow, Friday at 10 in Dennery South, and we're going to be talking to some people the same way. So I encourage those of you in the community to come out. We're going to be talking about whatever you want to. I do the show, I come in studio, Pali, but it cannot be the same as someone who, you live through your own experience, you know exactly what's going on in your community. And as I always advocate, it is very important that we speak our truth. So I want to see you guys there. I can't wait to meet more people, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. But for now, we still going to Dennery, Dennery South, but Estefan, yes, I know, we have to do it. And I didn't realize that you guys were paying so much attention to things that I didn't think you were paying attention to. We will start a certain place. I don't know whether we've played it before, but Estefan, I don't know whether it's a speech impediment. I know he has a strange cadence. I don't know. But with what he said, I thought it distasteful. I spoke about it yesterday. Because I did, people called and messaged. Sean, Mamsuka pays if I'm not. I don't know whether you're paying your supporters like Estefan did. Not in that way. But they were really offended by what Estefan said about you. People that I know not to even be into politics. People who don't really do that. Some of my friends, they're not really into it, but they took umbrage to what was said. So let's remind ourselves of the distasteful thing, one of the many that Estefan has said.
Election campaigning is reaching a fever pitch with heated platform rhetoric and exchanges on the hustings. The two main political parties are hosting a number of public meetings to garner support for the July 26, 2021 general elections. The Flabo train moved into two key battleground constituencies earlier this week. Chino Felipe has more.
The platform chatter has become more fiery as the general election fast approaches. Dennery South MP Edmund Estefan is the latest candidate to get swept up in the moment after launching a broadside at Dennery North MP Sean Edward while on the stump. Estefan made the comments at the UWP launch of its Dennery North candidate, Parapolius.
Mais monsieur a une opportunité pour faire un chien à Mabouya Valley. Mais nous avons trouvé comment un homme qui travaille. New and United Workers Party, we have shown this man how people work, and we are not bluffers. We don't take people for a ride.
When you look at that video, it's not just about what Estefan is saying, it's that Fede didn't understand what was being said because he doesn't understand Creole. The Prime Minister also doesn't understand, but not just that it's distasteful. I would have wanted to, delve into it, but with what we've had, the conversations that I've had with my friends, with women who have called, the comments that I saw, people saying, how could Estefan possibly think that Sean would be doing that now? People putting their hand in fire for Sean. I think that I've never really stayed there because for me, it's mostly about the issues. We sit there, we speak about policy, we speak about, how people are treating people, but that's just for me. That's just for us, just the women. Just the women. Men, you can turn away, do whatever you want to if you don't like it. I understand. But there were people who were telling me, Tresha, let's make a comparison. Ki lesu kwe kai festival isa? Ki lesu kwe kai nibu pay from, to do that. So yeah, it's going to be different, but I really just sat there just looking at Estefan and seeing, if he's going to be saying these things, and that's what's coming out with women voters. We don't like to admit it, but yeah, if you see a good-looking man, you can say he's a good-looking man. So we're going to do that. Let's take a look at Estefan, and just because my best friends and the people who have called me told me to, let's take a look at Sean as well.
And you think it happened by chance? No, it didn't. It happened because we have good leadership.
Yes,
leadership in our Prime Minister, in Honorable Alan Michael Shasde and his cabinet members, and that new team sa ou nou kay vie mene ba ou a, yo plus mauvais toujours. They less ou kay we bagay. So at this point in time, it is time to bring that leadership to address you. It is time to bring on our esteemed leader. It is time to bring on Michael Allen Shasté to address you. Welcome, sir.
Now, I tell you, the cause I got, I'm on play Estefan. You can see, I don't normally do this, but since it's out there and we're having a conversation, isn't it always us speaking our truth? Okay, you can come back, ladies, and Norbert, I guess. To really look at what's going on, and there are rumors circulating locally, when you go into America to do what you're doing, nobody are telling you anything in the community when people are saying that is exactly what you're doing. And there's a sense where people, they know what they've done, maybe they're embarrassed, maybe they're ashamed of it, and they're taking it from themselves. I will do what my friends have also told me, and we juxtapose that to Sean. Let's see what Sean is about.
My name is Sean Edward, Parliamentary Representative for Dennery North and second Deputy Political Leader of the St. Lucia Labour Party. Sean Edward is a young man who was born in the community of Denier Riviere in the Mabuya Valley. I have lived in Denier Riviere all my life. I attended school in the Mabuya Valley. After my school days, I got my first formal job in the Mabuya Valley when I was assigned a teaching job at the Oleora Combined School. Since then, I have always been in the community. I've immersed myself in the business of community, having served many different community-based organizations in different capacities. And in 2011, I got the ultimate call as far as community service is concerned when I was asked to contest the Dennery North seat for the St. Lucia Labour Party in the general elections of 2011. Today we are on site at the Torness Dam. This is the catchment for the Tamazo treatment facility, and this is part of the Dennery North Water Redevelopment Project, which was initiated by the St. Lucia Labour Party. The project was funded in two phases. Phase one was funded by a grant from the government of Mexico, and the second phase was funded by a loan from the Caribbean Development Bank. At the completion of phase 1, the communities of Grand Riviere, Richmond and Grand Ravine benefited from having the supply of fresh drinking water. Phase 2 took part of the other communities, namely Denier Riviere, Belmont, Gadet, Olio, Despin, Lapel and Larissus. But what is most important is that today, as we speak, the entire Mabuya Valley is benefiting from this project, and once and for all, we are consuming clean drinking water for the first time in many, many decades. And it's an opportunity for me to once again place on the record the collective appreciation and gratitude of the people of Dennery North, and to say to the Mexican how grateful we are for the manner in which they were able to come to our assistance at a time when resources were not always forthcoming. Ever since the elections of 2016 to now, that period in opposition has been particularly difficult, simply because there's been a deliberate attempt on the part of the government to starve people like myself in opposition of state resources. And I understand the importance of giving expression and voice to the plight of the people. And so at every opportunity in the parliament, on talk shows and in other public fora, I always take the issues of the people of Dennery North to the government, to the wider population, with a view that one day my plea will fall on the ears of persons who are caring and persons who can make an intervention to bring about some of the changes and the basic things that the people of Dennery North might need so that they can enjoy a better standard of living. Everything I say, it comes from the heart because I live the daily Mabuya Valley Dennery North experience, as opposed to being in a position where somebody has to relay messages to me that I will take on and pass on to the government. So ahead of this coming elections, I just want to appeal to the people of Dennery North that there is a very impressive record of work and accomplishment that people can refer to, and that happened between 2011 and 2016. As I said, that was cut short by a change of government. I'm asking the people once again to return to that work program, and this can only be accomplished by voting Sean Edward and the St. Lucia Labour Party in the upcoming general elections slated for the next couple of weeks or months.
Operation Therapy, Shondio, Farah.
So there again, you're seeing Sean, and I know yesterday, like I said, people saying, girl, Sean have to pay for none of that, Sean getting that for free. So, and that's what I'm seeing in the comments as well. So it was just for me to put that out there. Okay, and I'm tired of kicks in. We want the serious business now. Okay. Yesterday, I think some people felt disrespected in the north, by Seaview, that's in Groseley, with something that they just came to their place of work and they saw. So let's take a look at what they saw when they walked in. Some people have their trays, they're selling, there's also a bar there, and that was unexpected. Now, with the yellow sort of ribbons, I guess, being tied around the tree, that's where people have their businesses, have their stalls, and they're selling, and they felt disrespected because there was no consultation with that happening, and that was Spider's team who decided to do that, I guess, in the middle of the night. So people were angry. And I am being told that when the canvassers were walking, people told them that they didn't appreciate it, and they called in the big boss. Spider came there, sat there, I guess to listen to what the people were saying. And after a while, you just could see the passion and the level of disrespect and people standing up for what they believe to be their rights. They said that they would not allow that to happen, that people would do something like that. And for them, it's, it's not a poll, it's not a public place, really. It's where they ply their business, ply their trades and everything like that. So I was there and I decided not to say anything, but just record it in its entirety, in the way that I saw it, in the way that I heard it, and deliver it to you.
Any difference? We said that a civil man was contacted. A civil man was contacted, right? A civil man was contacted. We felt that it was still wrong that one civil person was contacted, it wasn't brought to the group. Because you had the argument you brought earlier, Spider been doing for civil. When you ask civil man that they say no, you know why? Because when one man go in Spider office and say he got representing Seaview, and Spider give it to him, and Seaview don't know about it, Seaview man still feel and know like Spider never. But listen to me. It happened right there. But listen to me. It happened right there. But bro, just because I take something and I bring it out here, and I never say I got it on behalf of Seaview, so you're going to know that that's what's happening there. But let's do what I tell you. The star went up, Seaview didn't know about it. One man knew about it from his family that got the job, he helped put it out. We have a WhatsApp group as Seaview. The argument ensued, the man left the group because we disagreed with the manner it was done. We disagree. We disagree. You understand what I'm telling you? So people go look at this. When you look at this, you say, Seaview pick a side. But one man that get that. So what I'm saying is, if we're gonna wake up one day, because this is not the poles on the road. When the fellas are putting up the flags for Kensal, I tell them to make sure they don't touch one flag of Spider. Make sure they don't even try to hide Spider flag, because that's not what it's about. So this is Seaview. This is not the road. We all know, you can say groundland or whatever, you have a right. This is Seaview. Spider been here before. He knows about it. One of you, one member of his campaign could have come to us and say, guys, I want to put those ribbons on those streets where you're pulling out almost every day, more than even your house. Put that up. Had the fellas denied or said they don't want the job, then we couldn't have any complaint when Spider give it to whoever he want pro. But we were not even approached. That's what I said to you. And you try and put that in it. And I told you what happened with that. And Kenson knows. He cannot come and do that nonsense that without come and talk to us same way, because we will have the same reaction. It's not about Spider, it's not about Kenson, and it's not about the flags on the poles everywhere. Alright. So you accept that? Alright.
That don't make sense.
Because this Spider wake up this morning, tomorrow morning, and all in front of his house. And all in front of his house is lined up with red, he will have a problem with it, yes sir.
No. That's the highway. The highway that we all there on the highway.
So anything that happened under your leadership, you're responsible for it. That's leadership. Let's not tell me about who didn't know what. You're the leader. If something going to happen, maybe they start consulting you before they do something, because at the end of the day, it looks like you did it. All I'm saying is simple. A conversation could have been held with Seaview and say, Seaview guys, I'm doing this.
Time for food delivery. Time for food delivery. Where you going? Time for food delivery.
The reaction, yeah, I get that, bro. But what I'm saying is, Seaview man consulted, bro. It's that simple. The minister can't answer now. Like you don't want to talk to us. Like you don't want to talk to us. Our people are free. Everybody in Gross should be your people. Everybody in Gross should be your people. You engage me earlier, so don't play, don't engage me now. You engage me earlier, so don't play, don't engage me now. Mr. Montour, all of us are your people in Grosley. You shouldn't have no side. You shouldn't have no side, Mr. Montour. That is the problem. You shouldn't have any side. Everybody in Grosley should be your people. Everybody in Grosley should be your people, man. You come and do that, the civil man have to eat to everybody, they have children. That's what we're saying. So tell it how you want. You can tell me about my mother and this. You can say everything you want. The matter still remains. People in Seaview need to eat too. You come and put that there over our heads, overnight and early morning. And not one man from Seaview was contacted to be given a job. And you want to run here when we're taking it out. But we're taking it out. And if you all don't understand the principle, that means you all don't know how to govern. If you wake up tomorrow morning and see in front of your house, line up with red flags. We just pick it all in front of your house with red flag. Will you not feel violated?
Of course.
Would you not feel that somebody being disrespectful to you? So you can come and put that over Seaview without consulting one Seaview person. And all of you are showing up now as if you're bad. Better than who? We're not pushing violence, but we're not making you all walk over us either. That's what we're saying. I'm not scared to say it in front of nobody. You come then, we just come and put all them yellow flags over our head overnight. You don't consult one man Seaview, and you want to talk about, oh, they have a star there, so you can do that. But somebody from Seaview was consulted and contacted about the star. And Kenson, no, he cannot just come and put up stuff in Seaview without talking to Seaview people. And now one of your campaign people going to say, you didn't even know that was happening. So what kind of leadership are you running? What kind of camp are you running? Anything that happened under your camp, you're responsible for it because you're the leader. You will never engage me. You will sit down there and shut up and let your wife try and engage me. I'm not even going to do that. You're right to come and try and divide and conquer. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. You're doing that there. You're not going to elicit a reaction. You know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. And I don't have a problem with you putting up your paraphernalia. You can put up a picture, you can put your bed there and sleep there if you want. But talk to us, show us some respect. Is it not on the pole you pass and put that? You put that right here. Them trees that were planted by us. Them trees were planted by us. We come here every day and we clean there, we do business there. We take our children there.
Of course.
This area is more of our house than even our homes most times.
Yeah.
So you come in and do that as the district rep.
That's disrespect.
That's disrespect. You know that, but you know that. Just talk to us and come and say, all right, fellas, you'll say, I'm giving you all no work. I have a little thing, $500.
Yeah.
A man might negotiate and say, Spider, that alone. But unless you give us the opportunity to say, no, we don't want the job, you cannot just bypass us and go and give it to somebody else and expect us to just take it. So yes, I tell people take it down. How you mean? And if Kenson did the same thing, you better believe I telling people take it down too. Show us respect. We are adults. We are of voting age. Nonsense. Like I always say, give fucks up. What you mean? Nonsense. You want to come and park there and sit down there and re. When our bench is broken, you even ever fix a bench and put there for us. You see how comfortable you just sat there? Watch how comfortable you just sat there, you wonder why. I want to come say, oh, he going live. Of course I go in live. What do you mean if I go in live? You all don't know my middle name is live. So when you say that, that's supposed to stop me. I want people to see and know. Don't be scared of the live. Your campaign person came there the whole time she went live. I tell her nothing. I'm not scared of live. I'm not scared of anything I have to say. You know, we always try and twist what people say and label Cherry. You would have SLP or Labour. I don't give a shit. Labour, when I talk against Labour, they can label me UWP. When I talk against UWP, they can label me.
You see how them youths dangerous?
I'm a
solution. You see how them youths dangerous, bro?
I'm a solution.
When Spider reads that, people come already.
Of course, you see that? A while ago, he understood exactly where we're coming from. But now, his nephew understood exactly where we're coming from, but now he changed his tone.
I'm telling you, bro.
He just told me he understood exactly where I was coming from. Yeah, Cherry.
Yeah.
All right. That making sense. We should have approached it that way. But as Spider and Barbara
You
reach
don't
here,
twist it around.
I'm
telling you, boy.
I don't care.
I'm telling you, bro.
I will continue to say all that magic. I have no problem with it there. But give Steve you work too. You bypass. That's like when you're doing the HRDC center. How much money is tradesman all in Gross Delay? You employ people from all over to come and put tiles outside the HRDC center. You understand? You don't give one man a job. Just recently, the care school, students that get a second chance, graduating. You were supposed to be there to give them a speech. You never showed up. I was there. I spoke to them. I congratulated them. Right after the graduation, you passed outside. We were still there having something to eat. You never even stopped to congratulate them. You kept driving. I never even went on Facebook and bring that up. Because it's not even about that. Show that you care, sir. If you care, every man sees you have children. And most of them have to sell weed to make a living. And you have a work there where you can put right above. This is not like you put it on the poles and everything, sir. And people to see exactly where you put it, Gassa. The trees that we plant, where we're sitting down every day, that's where you put it. You send your people and put it wee hours of the morning before we got there. So now we just have to show up and see it. See it.
It's a bit of a longer clip, but I think you understand what exactly is going on there. And Venus Sherry is incensed, clearly angry, and there were other people there as well who felt the same. Spider sat there for a while, Milei Patista Poyoko, just cooey. His wife was there, as you could have seen. And, you know, I think the guys would feel disrespected, of course, because right behind Venus Sherry, behind where everything is going on, the jetty is there. They themselves had to take, the guys themselves had to take off the wood that was rotting and everything. It was a danger to the people there. They had to take it out. So money is being spent to put yellow ribbons on trees and not to fix the jetty right there. And you could also hear too, when Venus Sherry is talking about, you know, everybody should be your people. There's clearly a way that these politicians, Spider clearly included, will treat people that he thinks, you know, is not on his side. And I don't think that's the way to do things. And quite frankly, you can hear the passion, you can hear the sincerity of the people there of Venus Sherry. And when there's nothing else to do, they run. They run. Because you know you're wrong. The lack of consultation, like he said, and he's taking clearly from his leader, that's the way they move, that's the way they operate, is just to come in the middle of the night, like, may we ball wazi, how you saying trees? On trees, you know? And people I think it took a lot of bravery to do that, because everybody can talk and they have a lot of big talk, but to say it in his face, say it in Spider's face when he is there, to speak about all of what has happened, when there's graduation, when there are other things happening in the community, he will not come because it's Venus Cherry or he thinks it's SLP supporters, and that should not be the way. Let's put up the next image though, because that happened at around 12:01 yesterday afternoon, and Venus Cherry shared that later that same evening, that this is what he posted. So Spider, bad boy, past Seaview tonight looking for me. Again, I will let Spider know I will not be intimidated. If that you feel me voicing my strong opinion against your leadership a threat so much that your bad boys want to come Seaview and send threats to me, then Tenusha better watch this shit blow up. I will not be intimidated. I guess violence will always be in our society when our ministers advocating for it. And we know Spider, we have seen Spider go up in the face of people, playing their hand in people's face. We know of the kidnapping. So it takes courage, I think, to speak truth, especially in their faces. And when people feel embarrassed, rightfully so, you should be embarrassed with what you've done in Grosley. I think that they will send their people, send their boys to do their dirty work for them. As to how that will develop, I don't know, but I just wanted to say that I am proud of the guys there for standing up for themselves, standing up for their place of business, and making sure that people respect them. I think it means something, and we can all learn a lot from it. We will be right back.
I can't stay. Madras. Hey. Free second day. Boom. I like it. Grow.
Pani street party c'est jou ça là. Pani l'argent encore. Si nous toutes prenons responsabilité et faire ça nous ni pour faire. Bagay la kay marcher et nous toutes kay manger. En nous tirer la peine nous kay danser encore.
Wear a mask, wash your hands and maintain a 6-feet distance. If we keep St. Lucia safe, we can keep our economy running.
We're taking our life back. Get vaccinated.
The COVID-19 vaccination drive is mobile and coming to you. There you can get the vaccine. It will protect you from developing severe outcomes of COVID-19 and make you less likely to spread the virus to others. It will also help you get your life back. Most of all, you will be doing your part to help St. Lucia bounce back from this pandemic. Visit the Ministry of Health and Wellness and Bureau of Health Education Facebook pages for the mobile vaccine schedule, and let's take our life back.
Get vaccinated.
This message is brought to you by the Bureau of Health Education of the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Get up and go. Oh, oh, oh. I think I'm going crazy. Just thinking of you, babe. I need to be your lady, 'cause it's driving me insane. I think I'm going crazy. Thinking of you, babe. I need to be your lady, 'cause it's driving me insane. I wanna wake up to your face. It's okay, I'll take your place.
You're watching UTV. TV for you.
I thought I should say a few words on this claim by the United Workers' Party that they have found markets for bananas in France and possibly in other areas.
We have made a commitment to the agricultural sector of St. Lucia. And specifically, we've been talking about bringing back banana production to at least 50 to 60,000 tons a year. Because everybody knows that agriculture, and particular bananas, have been the backbone of the rural areas of St. Lucia. With me today is the president of the Banana Cooperative for Martinique and Guadeloupe. And collectively, they are producing over 260,000 tons a year, depending on weather conditions, and that they're exporting this product under their own brand to France and will be also exporting to the rest of Europe. And because of St. Lucia's designation as an ACP country, there lies a tremendous opportunity for synergy. We have been in discussions with Eric, who is here with me today, who's the president of the cooperative, in talking about how we can forge a relationship to the mutual benefit of his cooperative and taking advantage of his expertise for many years. So Eric, it's very nice to have you here today.
Thank you.
And maybe you can explain to the viewers a little bit about your cooperative and how it works and how long you've been in existence.
Well, our cooperative exists since many years, and we have an organization which belongs to the producers of Guadeloupe and Martinique.
Agriculture Minister Ezekiel Joseph says he met with Winfresh representatives this week following a successful meeting with banana officials in France, and the result of the talks is a date for the first shipment of St. Lucian bananas to Martinique.
Based on the first order of business, as far as making this a reality, the company is requesting from us, starting from January, 3,000 boxes a week.
Joseph says Winfresh officials are confident that local farmers can meet the quota requested by the French.
You placed your X for progress. We have increased banana production.
Moun ki ay plante pli fig parce que Ezekiel ek chasne di yo kay vowe fig France. Moi vle tout fama mene fig yo devant office Ezekiel ek chasne.
The whole aspect of farmers complaining, not being able to market their fruit.
We exported 1,000 tons less. So koyo jwen pli fig la. We exported 1,000 tons of bananas less. So tell them to go and pay the farmers, because farmer plante pli fig parce que yo di yo kay voye fig France.
Why is the arrangement, and I want to make, why is the arrangement for a contract for marketing is not the responsibility of government? The arrangement for marketing is between the NFTO and Winfresh. It's not our responsibility.
Now he's telling farmers they cannot plant bananas to reach standard. That is horse manure.
Now we are seeing farmers are complaining. Now I ask the question: who are these farmers? Are they certified farmers? And if they are certified farmers, why is it that Winfresh cannot get the 15,000 boxes a week? And if they are not certified farmers, the responsibility is for them to get certified, not for the government to certify them.
You can try and fool a farmer that he cannot grow a banana. We've been growing bananas for over 40 years or 50 years. All it is, when the standard change, you meet the standard. So when you sell that to a person, you're deceiving the person, you're dishonest.
La la la, I can hear you. La 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 la. I don't want to hear la la.
They have that responsibility to prepare the plot.
Such markets never existed. Today it pains me to watch the harvest being fed to the pigs or to left to rot along roadsides. Exploitation of the highest order. When will they level with the farmers? Tell the farmers the truth. The longest rope has an end. That is what he said. And Alan Shastney, I'm telling you, you caused it.
I'm so committed to agriculture that I'm willing to put my own...
That surprises me, eh?
I want the people of Mico South, I want people in St. Lucia, all throughout St. Lucia, to know I am committed to agriculture, green apple, golden apples.
This has never happened before. Today, the sweat of our poor people must be permitted to go down the drain. They have labored in vain. Kidiko sa, koinge election. Nou kay komanse van fig by France ek Matnik. Lege election, ikwene se fama.
I believe elections are near, and they are trying to get one or two things to say they have done this and done that, since they have been failures all along.
And with all of that happening over the 5 years, the Prime Minister, elections about a week a week from now. He goes to Miku South last night. At 7, there was a political meeting. There was a meeting in Miku South, and he's addressing different people and, of course, the farmers. So I received an audio clip of Shasney speaking to the people there in Miku South, hoping once again that whatever he has to say, the promises or excuses, will work again. It will work this time as it has before. But there are no, media cameras there. So, you get the audio. And it's interesting when there's no official media there, what the Prime Minister, how he feels he could, say certain things, make excuses and blame the farmers themselves. But this, 5 years later, the failure that this administration is, and they've been to the farmers, especially in Miku South, because we know what Miku South is. We know that community, to have farmers remember the Compton era and the importance that was placed on agriculture. And we know now that's not the case. To buy tourism. Everything is about flights and tourism, and the farmers, even with COVID, when they thought and they were hopeful in all of the disaster and the crisis of the COVID pandemic, they thought at the beginning that this would at least show this administration that look at how susceptible tourism is, look at how you cannot rely on it. Let's focus on feeding our own people, maybe reducing our import bill, placing more of the attention, the finance in farmers, and feeding ourselves. Sabari fed PS. In fact, more things being placed in tourism and not on the farmers. And with all of that happening, Shasney comes to Miku South to tell the farmers this.
I want to talk to my farmers. This government stands with you every stride. We have had a tough, a difficult 5 years between hurricanes, floods, wind fresh. I mean wind fresh. Under the Labour Party, wind fresh
the
went
people sit
bankrupt.
there, they know that whatever you say in their lives.
But what do you expect the people to do, Junior?
No, I'm just trying to understand how they sit and hear that but he's been doing that for a longest while.
The man can talk. People, let me tell you that.
And we found the money.
You hand people clapping.
And that's why
you
this time we said
they don't have people there,
the FTO, if you want more money,
the people just there, they're more bored than ever. It's only a couple
you can have the majority, four seats,
he can
but the
say what he
chairmanship
wants.
Doing that for years, giving them the...
And we're going to make sure, I know you all know farming better than me. Okay?
The man can say what he
But there's some
wants.
simple things. In the old days, we had a proper inspection of our bananas before they went in. All of us know simple math. If you take a banana, you put it in a box, you ship it to England, you wait for it to ripe to find out that the banana is no good. Who is going to pay the labor? Who is going to pay the freight? Guess who? The farmers. And when the farmers can't get paid, who do they go to? The movement. How is it that all those years ago, we didn't have as many spoiled bananas when they went to England? All of a sudden, every week, what are you hearing? Spoiled bananas.
You just pass us.
Another bill. And that is why the government has to get involved, because the FTO
Junior wanted to listen to
had become a disaster. They did not have the ability to manage the affairs. We see with this last hurricane, when you went around the island,
the shop, the store, the
banana fields that had 3 crops with them, less damage. Less damage, right, Levi? So that is what we have to do. Plant your bananas with cocoa. Plant your bananas with avocado. Plant your bananas with coconuts. Do anything you can to make sure we protect our bananas. You're going to see the most amazing marketing campaign so that every single tourist that knows they come to St. Lucia, they know that we have the best banana in the world. That's what we have to do.
All of a sudden they have rotten
bananas.
But they realize the inspection quality that has changed. The quality has changed.
What he's saying
is we all must change.
So I'm not even boring that. But he's telling the people that know that because he promised them that as soon as he got successful,
that we criticize that person. We try to figure out all the ways that that person became successful, rather than saying that that person became successful because they worked hard. And let me find out what that person did and let me become like them. This is not like there is a small cake and not enough to go around. The cake will be as big as we make it. If we all work hard, the cake will become bigger. But we must celebrate success. If we have a young man who's a great football player, let's celebrate. If we have a young lady who is the best netball player, let us be proud that she comes from our community. Let's make an example of her or him that everybody else wants to do the same thing.
Shasney will come to Miku South after 5 years of failed promises and neglect and tell the farmers that, you know, it's the NFTO's fault. It's your fault. You can't plant banana. Y'all don't know how to do the bananas. By the time they reach there, they spoil already. You're not meeting the standards. It's your fault. It's the NFTO's fault. It's the hurricane fault. It's not, you take no accountability. And I don't have much to say. I think you can tell for yourself, man Jepudia, because we have seen what this Prime Minister has done to the farmers and the contempt that he has shown to people working in agriculture. And when you tell people they have to diversify and, you know, you're going to tell a farmer how to do their business, people have been doing that for 4 decades, doing that, and you want to come and tell people, oh, well, I don't know, but it's about simple math. Respect people's expertise. Respect people's livelihoods. And if this man respected that, he wouldn't treat you like that. So, Odia, Yoswe, even la Pudizo, let's give you another promise. Say it's not his fault, the NFTO. You all promised farmers that they would be owed their money if the NFTO gave up the chair for government. They did just that. They did it about 2 months ago. Up to now, they can't get their money. But you will come in Miku South and make more promises. And more than that, Miku South people, I really want to know how you feel when people don't come, the Prime Minister doesn't come and check y'all, but he will come because he needs the votes. He needs to make sure that he secures it. And I think more in that audio, you could hear the Prime Minister speak of Miku South people as if he speaks about them, making a comparison like they're his wife. They will stay. They will stay, and no matter what, they will always be together. You don't believe me? Listen for yourself.
Hi, Flavo. You and I have a relationship. The same relationship I have with my wife. If you think that my wife has problems, because my wife doesn't get to see me, everywhere in this country, I will go. There's no place I will not go. And I will make sure I touch everybody, I speak to everybody. And I want to say to you tonight, thank you. Thank you. Because you have been like a second wife for me. I come home late at night, my wife has dinner for me. I wake up in the morning, my wife makes my breakfast. My wife has been taking care of my children and paying all of the bills and taking care of my home. And you, the constituents of Miku South, you have done the same thing for me.
I don't know if I have a man that will lie to me the way you have, that will neglect me the way you have, because you know you're talking about a wife, you're talking about how you're treating your wife, and you expect people to treat you, welcome you with open arms. Hey, me, look your what you say, your breakfast meeting, your lunch meeting, your dinner kind of thing. That's not a relationship. That's abuse. And I think it would really show us where we are if this is the way the Prime Minister sees us, that no matter what, don't mind I come and check you, but you're always there for me no matter what. That's you call in. I don't know your business, I don't know your business at your home. May paisia. Pass at least paisia. Let's take the call. Good morning.
Good morning, Tresha.
Good morning, sir.
Tresha, last night I listened to Mrs. Janine Girardi McIntyre on Timothy Polion's Newsmaker Live show.
Mm-hmm.
And Tresha, at the end of it, I had to conclude that this lady just ain't real. You know, throughout much of the show, she kept hanging on to her dead father's coattails, Henry Giraudy, and bigging him up about his values and his principles and how he mentored her in the politics, and so on. Now, Tresha, if Mrs. McIntyre is bigging up Henry Giraudy, deceased Henry Giraudy, that way in terms of mentoring her in politics, I don't think she really knew her father in terms of some of the roles that he played in politics. Tresha, look, my wife is from Grace Viewfort, and I've spoken with her on numerous occasions in terms of the politics in Viewfort in her days of growing up down there. Mm-hmm. I've also spoken with a number of other people in that area. Tresha, Henry Giraudy, deceased Henry Giraudy, was the mastermind in trying to fool people, and not only from Grace Viewfort and in those other communities, but also in Labrie, the mastermind of trying to fool people by having Wasco place lengths of pipes and having Lucilec place electric poles to make the people in those areas believe that if they voted for them, they would get potable water and electricity. But no sooner did the young people display their support for the SLP by voting SLP again and again in those elections, then the pipes and the electricity poles would be spirited away in the dead of night. I mean, look. The other thing too, Tresha, is you're talking about principles. Henry Giraudy, after his death in 1993, the then Prime Minister John Compton wrote off, and I don't know if you can remember that. I'm sure there are lots of people who can remember that. The then Prime Minister John Compton wrote off $750,000 in taxes owed to the government and the country by Henry Giraudy. Now, is that a man with principles and values? You're allowing your taxes to reach such an amount that you die owing all of that money, and the then Prime Minister writes it off? And as for Mrs. McIntyre herself, talking about values and principles, you running under Alan Chasney, the same Alan Chasney who has racked up debt in the billions, more debt than any 2 or 3 administrations have done in the history of this country. This same Alan Chasney who has insulted and disrespected every class of professional in this country. This same Alan Chasney who has called the people backing dogs and braying jackasses and beggars and all of that kind of stuff. This same Alan Chasney who has broken law after law after law in this country, and you're talking about values and principles, but you're allying yourself by running under this same Alan Chasney. Look, Tresha, this lady just ain't real, and the people of Castries North, on the basis of what I've said and more, must reject her. Thanks, Tresha.
Thank you very much, Gola. And I think I also saw a clip where people ask her, you don't come in the community, why now? And she says, I don't walk into the constituency unless, I have something to actually do there. And I found that to be so asinine. That was just, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Well, not the dumbest, there's also Chasney and all the other things that he's done. But I think it means something. It means something when people feel they can just come, put somebody for flubble, and they must win. It doesn't matter if you've not been in the community. It also matters because that's what happens with Alan Chasney, that he can come on a Wednesday night after 5 years of doing that to the farmers, and doing that to Miku, and telling them, don't worry, it's everybody's fault but mine. Take no accountability for anything and say, thank you for being with me. You are like my wife. We have a relationship and you're always there with me, and that's supposed to assuage you. That's supposed to make you feel good. And that's why I want to know, Miku South, Miku North, How do you feel? How do you feel if that's the way you're being treated? I know for some people, some of them are afraid to say it because in the area that they're in, that they do feel disrespected and neglected. And like I said, we want to hear from you. So we are going to go to the different communities. Just a reminder that we will be in Dennery South tomorrow. It's also nomination day. We'll be there at 10. I want to hear you. I find it very entertaining, but more than entertaining, very enlightening to have people speak to me on the different issues right there themselves, and we could hear it straight from them personally. Do we have another call? So even with that, you could still call at 572-7588 or via WhatsApp at 484-7588. I don't know what is going to be. I think with about a week left, we're going to get more things, more people saying the worst things, like what Estefan just did and what Guy Joseph has been doing for a while now. But I would like to encourage people to keep on the issues. Keep on the issues. I have seen clearly where they're going with this, even with the raffle that they're having to Barbados, the questions that they had that we played yesterday, the madness, the little antics that they think will work, because that is the way that they think of us. There's the way they think we think. That nothing matters, the issues don't matter. You can give away our land, you can give away our money, you can take our tax money, you can do whatever you want, you can lie, you can sign on a document, you could do whatever, and we won't care if you give us a little bit of rum, alcohol, chicken, and a good time, as if, you know, we won't remember. But I say to all of us, let us not forget. Let's not forget. We cannot forget what's happening. Let's take the other call. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Tress.
Good.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Not bad at all. First time calling.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You know what really hurts me deep within my soul is to see the way the people from Mico South can turn their backs on a guy who was born there. He went to school there, he taught their children, he took part in sports, he contributed to the community. His uncle, I think, was the rep for this place for how many years? He's not somebody they don't know. The guy is well read, he's very intelligent, right? He looks passionate. And to tell me that y'all are turning your backs on this guy, right, for what y'all have there presently, man, let me tell you, I have family who live in Deriso, and honestly, some of them support the Labour Party and some of them support the UWP, and honestly, I am really angry at those who support the UWP. To tell me, after all what y'all have been through, the country, right, have been through, children, middle-aged, young people, right, have gone through so much with this government, and y'all are telling me, okay, that y'all are still supporting those guys, okay? This guy has the audacity to tell me he's going to Mico South in Angers, right, to fool the people again, to fool the farmers again, when he did it 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago, fooling them and bringing his family member to sit in front of him in a studio, right, fooling them and tell them how he's going to send bananas to Martinique and France, right? It never happened. The people used all their resources to plant bananas like they were going mad and crazy, okay? And left, and after that, the people went through a lot of problems, okay, with all those bananas they planted. They could not do anything with it, okay? They were at a loss, and you are telling me you have the audacity, okay, to go to Angers and try and fool the farmers again, and now you're talking about small bananas, big bananas, all kind of nonsense with your accent? Huh? Man, let me tell you, I'm so sick of this guy. I'm sick of him. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. I know that it's your first time calling, and I do hope that you call again, but I think we can hear your passion in that contribution. Let's take our final call. Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I can sense the passion in that caller boy.
Yeah.
And you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of scripture. When the Bible declares that Jesus Christ, he went to his own. He went to his own, but his own received him not. And as the caller say, that could be so painful, man, to see that in your entire life, you grew up with the people, you empower them, and somebody come from nowhere who cannot identify with them. And I wonder if that's why some people rate St. Lucia as the second dumbest country in the world. I don't know if they use it as a yardstick. Why? What reason? What reason? What justification should the people of Deriso have to vote for a man that knows nothing about y'all? You know? Anyway, I just want to ask you more information about that trip to Barbados, you know, Trisha. No, serious for you. How much, if there is any spending money?
How is me?
I mean, if you're going to stay in a hotel.
You answered the questions already.
I have no idea. I need more information. Because you just telling me I'm going to Barbados. I don't know if I get in 2 weeks money, because to go Barbados you have to spend 2 weeks quarantine. I don't know where I'll be staying.
You staying by Peter Wickham? Peter Wickham, you want to stay by? You want to stay by Peter Wickham?
Pay my own trip to go to Barbados.
Peter Wickham waiting for you, eh?
You mean that's what you're giving me? When you're going to Miami, you're going to London. You want to send me to Barbados?
I don't know what. Thank you very much, caller. I don't know what. Well, I know what they wanted out of that, but I don't think it's working. From what I've seen on Twitter and Facebook, the young people that they want so much, they are starting to feel like you can feel desperation. Can you feel it? Can you smell it? You guys smell desperate, and people can feel it. And young people, some of them, I'm telling you, when they saw that, they saw right through it. I don't know what the Cambridge Analytica, I don't know what Peter Wickham, must have seen Peter Wickham play and not sort of see, sorry, to go to Barbados. I don't know where that's coming from, but it's not going to work. It shouldn't be able to work in St. Lucia. Listen, we've come to the end of the show. I want to thank all of you, the callers, those of you watching on social media, on radio, Facebook, Nipot Kote. Thank you very much, as always, for being with us. And spending your morning with me. I hope to see you guys tomorrow, where we will be in Denry, and we'll have more of the conversations. But until then, please, please, please have a good one.
I can't